According to the story that has always been told about XRP, Ripple is replacing SWIFT and using XRP as the backbone of the global economy. For example, this is how Ripple payments work. This has always been the case with cryptocurrencies. That being said, Ripple has always been more connected than you could imagine, so this idea ISN and hashtag 039, T2 new. Marty Moley, a Bitcoin developer who worked from 2009 to 2011, said something in a post by Emi Yoshikawa, who used to be vice president of strategic projects at Ripple. The piece came out in February of the previous year. It was interesting to hear Toshi and hashtag 039's thoughts on Ripple because it was the only method that let people trust it, rather than putting it all on one computer. Over the course of its past, Bitcoin has been the center of attention, and recently, there has been a big marketing push around the cryptocurrency. Hearing people talking about how Bitcoin will work and how it will become more mainstream is a big distraction. As we talked about that, Bank of America uses XRP for all of their internal activities. David Strumsky, an investor in digital assets, said that there is a chance for new leadership to take over. A lot of people have talked about Ethereum and Ripple, and new exchange-traded funds, ETFs, for Ethereum have also been developed. Many banks and their CEOs are critical of Ripple and cryptocurrencies in general. However, these same banks are also working on their own currencies and getting ready for competition in the financial world. There are signs that the Big Bang effect is getting closer and closer. In this case, a financial disaster is on its way to us. There is almost no way to avoid the fact that we are getting closer and closer to this disaster. And it looks like we in hashtag 039 getting closer and closer to the effects of the Big Bang. We can and hashtag 039 keep going down this unsustainable path without hitting a wall and something happening that will set us on a path that will eventually require the whole financial system to be realigned. Homes, food, and the things we need to live are all too valuable to keep going down this road. The story behind XRP has always been that Ripple is taking the place of SWIFT and making XRP the core of the global economy. This is the only thing that can be said about the story. On the other hand, all the attention being paid to Bitcoin and how it is becoming more mainstream is taking away from the chance of new leadership forming. As the market continues to grow, it is important to remember how important it is not to waste a good disaster. Rather than focusing on the creation of new Ripple exchange-traded funds to build a more stable future. Every day, new information about artificial intelligence comes out, and blockchain technology is the best way for a lot of people to use AI. A lot of people talk about the blockchain cryptocurrency when they talk about the next wave of technology. This leads to Ripple, the company we should be following. Ripple is thought to be a fast dollar that can be used for many different kinds of purchases and activities in the United States. The people who use XRP have been yelling for years that everyone has missed the goal. The goal of Ripple and XRP should be to help everyone. They didn't and hashtag 039 hit the mark. No one paid attention to Ripple until it lost more than $1. After $1, then $2, then $3, then $4, and finally $5, everyone started to pay attention to Ripple. It and hashtag 039 possible that people will finally understand what they and hashtag 039 we've been talking about once the time comes. Ripple wants to become SWIFT in the long run, and SWIFT in hashtag 039's director has said that they plan to add the technology to their payment system, which is called the person speaking is interested in this video clip because it shows how Ripple and SWIFT are working together to use XRP and blockchain-based technology. Ripple and SWIFT have worked together formally for a long time, and the long-term goal is to turn SWIFT into SWIFT. That and hashtag 039's why Ripple is working with SWIFT to add the technology to their payment system. This will help the company reach its goal of creating a digital banking system that big banks can use. The XRP ledger is a bridge currency that makes it possible for trades to happen quickly and easily between different currencies from around the world. When it comes to Ripple dealing with SWIFT, it and hashtag 039's not just about getting rid of SWIFT. Instead, it and hashtag 039's about adding to something that and hashtag 039's already there. Ripple is working closely with SWIFT to make sure that SWIFT does well in emerging countries around the world. The company wants to become known as a trustworthy and stable cryptocurrency in the long run. The story about artificial intelligence is getting longer. And using blockchain technology is the best way to get access to AI on a big scale. Ripple and Swift are working together to create a bridge exchange that is both reliable and efficient and could help trade grow around the world. The long-term goal for Ripple is to become Swift. The company is now working on adding Swift technology to the XRP ledger, which is its payment system. Since it was first released 20 years ago, Swift has become the most popular messaging system in the banking industry. In its reach are transactions, securities, and reconciliations, among other things. And to make most of its payments easier, Swift is thinking about merging with cryptocurrencies and offering a store and forward service. This would make it possible for funds to be moved and seen right away, so banks would no longer have to wait days to get paid. It is not expected that Ripple will replace Swift because it is one of the networks that will work with Swift to give institutions that need real-time access to their services. Additionally, Swift is changing the way its network works, which will let moves happen in real time. Ripple could also be used as an exchange on the Swift network when FX is being used. At the moment, Ripple is in charge of 90% of the foreign exchange market. There would probably be a big change if Ripple and Swift join forces tomorrow. According to a post by Mr. Man XRP that was quoted by Smokedog, Mr. Man XRP said that Ripple and Swift would eventually join forces, creating a financial world that works with each other. All of the systems will be able to talk to each other, and everything will work smoothly across unified blockchains and banking systems. Ethereum will be the link between these very strong groups. Due to the fact that both Swift and Ripple have been recorded 4 times, it is possible for them to exist together. It is possible for Swift to buy new technology companies like Ripple to improve the quality of the services it offers since it has a large membership base and a steady stream of income. Ripple and #039's feature agency model is based on the idea that by adding a more complete data layer to systems like Swift, its coin technology can help them work.